There. All right. In class, we discussed samples, how to get good samples. We talked about simple random samples and stratified random samples, different things. And then we started talking about sampling badly. And bad samples are biased. Bias is a tendency to overemphasize certain aspects of the population and then underemphasize other aspects of the population. So the one that we talked about in class was called a voluntary response sample. This is where you publish an invitation to take the survey, and then anybody who wants to can be in it. So we're not selecting who gets in it, just anybody can do it. And they are biased towards people who see the invitation. So whether it's on some website, only certain kinds of people might be on that website. And it's also going to be biased towards people who feel strongly enough to actually answer the survey. So we talked about an example, Ann Landers. She asked parents to write in and answer this question. If you had it to do over again, would you have your children? And as a parent, I'm going to guess that the percentage of people who would not have their children again is very small. But of the 10,000 people who wrote in, 70% of them said no, they would not have their children again, which is crazy. But here's the deal. That is a very biased sample. That is biased towards the kind of people who are going to respond. And it doesn't represent all parents. So obviously the kind of parents who wouldn't have their children again are the kind of parents who wrote in to Ann Landers. All right, next sample is called a convenience sample. And a convenience sample is what you would think. So convenience samples are samples where we include individuals who are convenient for us to sample. So here's an example. Let's say, actually that's gonna go here. Let's say that we want to gauge freshman opinions about the food court. All right, so we want to know how freshmen feel about the food court. And so let's say we ask people as they're in line at the food court. All right. So they're in line at the food court. I say, hey, how do you feel about the food court? Well, this is going to be biased towards who? Who's getting overemphasized here? So the answer is it's going to be biased toward people who go to the food court. All right, and we're underemphasizing people who don't like the food court, and so they're just not there. So so if I ask the percentage of people in line at the food court what their opinions are, that is not going to look like the population of all freshmen opinions about the food court.